Hey, how's it going? I was just thinking about emotions and like emotional pain and emotional response and men's relationships with their emotions in particular. Um, I just wanted to say that if you're going through something like really bad, like, a death, something like to that magnitude, or even like a really bad breakup or something, or you got fired, something like life-changingly, devastatingly bad like that. Um, I know it's a thing for men. I'm not saying that this sort of thing doesn't happen to women. I can't speak for women because I'm not one, so I'm just not gonna. But maybe this is just as applicable to women. I don't know. But for men, I do know that there is a tendency, a psychological tendency, kind of built into you to sort of ignore your emotions and like soldier on and like keep trucking, and to just kind of put it in the back of your head and just fucking keep moving on. And there's multiple reasons for that. I could fucking sit here and analyze all day why that happens. There's like a social stigma. Men are supposed to be stronger than that, or like it's just like a personal response. Like your body is just telling you bad emotions are scary, and fucking don't worry about it. You got to figure the human mind is programmed for like survival and not life. You know what I mean? There's a difference between surviving and living. So your brain will just not want you to be sad, because then when you're sad, you're not thinking about predators that are trying to eat you, or you're not thinking about getting food or whatever. So your brain is like, don't worry about it. Like, you can be depressed forever. It's fine. It's just got to be back there because we need to eat. So sometimes, you don't want to ignore you do want to ignore these instincts. You know what I mean? But you have a built-in thing to you, whether it's always there or whether society puts it in you, I don't know. But you have a built-in thing telling you to just kind of ignore that shit, put it on the back burner, don't worry about it. But I'm here to tell you that at some point, sooner than later, definitely, as soon as humanly possible, you're gonna want to put some time aside for yourself, to sit down, meditate on what's happening to you, think about it, and then react as rawly and as naturally to it as possible. Yeah, you're gonna wanna, and I understand, like, like a lot of times when something bad is happening to you, it's also happening to other people you care about, like for instance a death and or something like that. So you have to like be strong for people, so you can't be like a crying mess or whatever, but you can go for a walk, find like a quiet woods or something, and like punch a fucking tree and like scream and cry. And you're gonna need to do that. You're gonna need to find a moment to do that, to just not be strong and not be tough and not be there for somebody and just fucking emote. Because if you hold on to these things, if you don't do that shit, you hold on to it. And if you hold on to it, it stays with you forever. It compounds and it gets worse. And you need to let it go. You got to figure there's a reason human beings cry in the first place. There's a reason that this phenomenon occurs. You know what I mean? There's a reason there's a biological, physical, visceral response to emotion. It's like taking a shit. The sadness you feel is like the pressure in your stomach, and the tears are like the feces. Like, you got to get this shit out of you. It's not healthy to keep it in. And you'll get sepsis and die or whatever if you don't do it. You understand what I'm saying metaphorically here? It's like that. It really is. Because I mean, and I'm speaking from personal experience, because that was how I lived a good lot of my life. I mean, I'm a young guy, so it's not like I have a shitload of life experience or whatever. But bad things happen to me. Bad things happen to everybody. And my thing was always to just fucking ignore it. until I got to the point where I became kind of self-aware enough to realize that that was fucking me up psychologically. And so then I would do what I'm telling you to do and actually just react. And your problem solving skills and your coping skills really grow from doing that, you know? So do that. Like, emote. Sit down and really just fucking be in the moment and be in your emotions. You need to take the time to do that. You need to take the time to be present with what you're feeling and how you're feeling. And then you need to feel it, and then you need to do what comes naturally about that for a little while. And that's the other thing too. It is for a little while, because just like literally everything else in life, it's a tightrope walk. You can't do it too much, you know, because there are people who dwell in their emotions and they stay in one emotional spot forever. You can't be that guy either. So it's hard. Everything's hard. Life is fucking hard, but you do got to do some. You got to do something. You got to get it out of you. And I think generally speaking, the people who are wallowing in emotion and dwelling in emotion are people who are in a state of denial anyway. And what I'm prescribing, what I'm advocating for is to not be in denial. So I think, and I'm not a medical professional, so, you know, take what I say with a fucking grain of salt. But I think that if you do sit down, be present in what you're feeling, how you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and then react to it, I think it goes a long way for remedying being dysfunctional and in denial, and then therefore fucked up for in the long run. So I think one actually defeats the other. But anyway, at any rate, that is a thing you got to do. Be mindful of is don't stay attached to, you know, something forever. And like, I'm not saying don't feel bad for it, because there are certain tragedies in life that don't go away. You know, I've never had, I mean, I've had friends die and stuff, but I've never had, like, you know, like a parent or like a sibling, like a close family member die. And I've spoken to people who have, like my parents, or, you know, people in family who are older who have had, like, their parents die or like their siblings die. And the common thread there is that pain does not go away ever. Like, you get better at addressing it and like handling it and like confronting it, but the pain itself never subsides. So I'm not saying, like, you know, if you just cry now, you're going to be fine with your brother dying. Like, I'm not saying that. But I am saying that you're going to be a more functional person. You're going to be a healthier person if you do just fucking release. Take that emotional shit. You got to do it. You got to do it. I'm just saying this because it's going to help you. All right. Stay strong out there. Love you. Bye.